destination for nonstop entertainment. Play for fun and play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void or prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Attention Tucson. Remember, if it's game day and the Wildcats are taking the floor, you can count on 1290 to bring you all the play-by-play action, the biggest pre- and post-game show in the Pac-12. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by Casino del Sol, Soul Sports, Bet Easy, Win Big, Bet Local. Arizona men's basketball plays here. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
And a great Thursday afternoon to you. Welcome to the program, DK on the Sports Tip. I'm David Kelly. We want to talk to you today, as we do every day. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. It is a fabulous Thursday. And do you know why it's a fabulous Thursday? I'm going to be like the DJ. I'm going to give you the drop here. 3, 2, 1. Boom! There he is, ladies and gentlemen. J.W. Madden is back. He is no longer the Invisible Man.
Yeah, all of Tucson were just holding their breath, waiting for the camera to work again. Sure.
For those of you that are watching our video stream, you can now see J-Dub. He's back. I maybe have to darken up his picture a little bit there. It's making him a little bit brighter.
I just need some
than normal.
sun, I think, is what we're really talking about here.
Man. Yeah, well, there's no sun out there today. That's for sure. But J-Dub is back in the house video-wise. You can watch our video stream on a number of platforms: YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, Twitter. The first 3 at Wildcats Radio 1290. The second of which is our Twitter account at Wildcats 1290. Head on over to any of those and you can view the video stream. You can also listen to us. The app is coming together, folks. I talked about it yesterday. The app was crap. It's kind of been my mantra. Our app is crap because it just was not. It's not very user friendly. But trust me, it's getting better. If you go to the app right now, go to our Wildcat, download. I'm even going to tell you. Excuse me. I'm even going to tell you to download our Wildcats 1290 app. Start downloading it because it's going to really be good here shortly. But it's got a better look. I just changed the look. That was the one thing that kind of needed to change. We changed the look on it, so it's got a little bit better look now. You can stream us on our app as well. You can stream our audio at wildcatsradio1290.com. That's our website. The website's looking good. We've got all kinds of stuff up on our website. We've got Arizona Wildcats stories. We've got Phoenix Sun stories. We've got Arizona Coyotes stories, video highlights. Nobody is covering you in Arizona, here in Southern Arizona, covering you across the state like we are. Okay, we've got all of that on all of our platforms. So jump on board right now. This train's getting rolling, folks. This train's about to roll out of the gate, and you better not miss the train. Better not miss the train, all right?
You know what we need is a positive word that rhymes with crap. So
that we can change it?
Yeah.
Now our app is DAP. How about DAP? DAP used to be like when I give you a fist bump, dap you up.
I still dap all the time.
You still dap? Okay.
Yeah. How about our app is crap, but soon it's going to slap?
Yeah, I like that. Our app is going to slap because that is what's coming, folks. If you go to our app right now, we've got a preview up. The Coyotes are taking on the Colorado Avalanche. That's tonight. The Avs are entering into State 48 red hot. They have won 5 straight games, but the Coyotes have been the Stanley Cup champ killers of late. They have beaten the Tampa Bay Lightning. They have beaten the Vegas Golden Knights in their last 2 games. And now they're going to go for the trifecta As my guy Paul Sakala used to say, trifecta, you betcha. And knock off the Colorado Avalanche tonight at the Mullet up in Tempe. So if you're heading up I-10 to see the boys on ice tonight, give us a call. Let us know. I'd love to go to a game there. I got to get to a game at the Mullet and see how that. I've heard the atmosphere there is pretty good. Obviously, it's a limited facility. It's a small facility, but I've heard that the atmosphere there is pretty good. Pretty good. So I'd like to maybe see if I can get up and see a game at the Mullet. See the Coyotes, the Yotes, play a game there this season.
They got games on the 2nd and the 4th and the 7th. And last I heard, you might have some free time.
Yeah. Man, I might have to make a drive up there next week,
St. Louis,
huh?
Washington, and Philadelphia are coming to town after Colorado.
Wait, St. Louis, Washington, and Philadelphia.
Yep.
All right. I only have connections to Philadelphia, so, yeah, maybe I'll go see the Flyers. The Flyers, that's a weekend game, if I'm not mistaken.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
7th. That's also the day of the quarterfinals of the in-season NBA tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
And Arizona women's basketball will be home next Thursday as well. They'll be taking on UC San Diego. So a lot happening. We got a chance to talk to Adia Barnes today. Adia and one of her talented freshmen, Skylar Jones, had a chance to talk to her. And also had a chance to meet with the fellas today as well, coming back off of their big win over Michigan State. Tommy Lloyd. Had a chance to speak with Tommy. Tommy's always fun. He is always fun. He's got a pretty nice banter going right now with our guy Bruce Pascoe from the Arizona Daily Star.
He just says Bruce kind of disappointedly. Yeah, that's great.
He invited Bruce to go sit down at Bob Dobbs with him and talk about the Princeton offense.
It's just the traditional push-pull, right? Because, I mean, Bruce Pascoe's job is to get quotes to write stories about. Mm-hmm. And, Coach Lloyd's job is to give answers that benefit the program and the team. So there's the butting of the heads. So
yeah, but it's fun. They're fun press conferences to be in. It's a much different. And I'm not to say that Sean Miller's press conferences weren't fun. Sean always had a lot to say. He was very quotable. He was what I liked about Sean's press conferences was the minutia. He was very good at talking about the minutia of basketball.
Yeah.
The X's and the O's. He could really make that understandable for you. And that was one of the things I always liked about him.
He also tended to talk to his own players through the media in those conferences. Mm-hmm. I feel like Coach Lloyd is much more of a straight shooter, and he's definitely, answers every question that's thrown at him. Coach Miller used to kind of have these subtle, shots at players, that they were hoping maybe that the player was listening to the press conference because they needed to hear, the statement that he was making.
That reminds me, back when I covered the Browns back in the early part of the century, Butch Davis was the coach. And so if you asked Butch Davis how a player was doing, so just to say, hey, Butch, how's J.W. Madden doing?
Right.
He's okay. He's all right.
Yeah, he needs to work harder.
That's when you knew that J-Dub wasn't playing very well. If Butch Davis said, he's okay.
Yeah, he's all right.
You knew that that guy was not playing very well. Coaches always have that sly, subtle, sometimes way of saying a guy's not doing what he needs to be doing. You don't necessarily get that though from Tommy Lloyd. Tommy doesn't really throw any of his guys under the bus. He doesn't necessarily talk through us, I think, to get to his players.
I love Coach Tommy Lloyd's approach to it, because if you ever listen to him, he's consistent in the fact that he is a day-to-day, game-to-game, approach each problem as it comes at us. So speculation about months from now, or some of the comments about where people are on draft boards and things like that, when he says he doesn't care, it's genuine. Like he's just focused on Colgate. He's just focused on the game on Saturday, making sure everybody's on the same page and getting better for March. And, that's the job, right? The job is to make sure that you're teaching and that the players are following, the guidance of the coaching staff, and that you're just ready for that next game and getting better every day.
Yeah. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. I was talking about our app a little bit. I actually sent out, I don't know, do you have our app, Jada? You probably don't even have it. Do you have our app?
That's too crappy for me. Sorry, I don't have it.
It's not slapping yet for
When
you.
it slaps, I'll
I
get it.
actually sent out we're going to be sending out more notifications. That was one of the things I learned in my 2-hour class yesterday is how to send out notifications. I actually sent out a notification last night. Did you get it?
On the app?
Yeah.
I did not.
Okay. It was just the notification that the Suns had lost last night. They lost, and it was the first time it ended their 7-game winning streak.
Yep.
Went to Toronto, fell to the Raptors, 112 to 105. 30-point night for Kevin Durant. Little bit of a slight ankle situation in the third quarter for Devin Booker. That's something we'll obviously have to keep our eyes on. And obviously, Devin has dealt with some injuries already this season and had been playing at a very high level. Did not play a whole lot in the fourth quarter, only finished with 8 points. So that's obviously something we'll have to see what's going on with Devin and his ankle as the Suns get ready for the in-season tournament quarterfinals, which will be on Tuesday in Los Angeles against the Lakers. And yesterday, our question of the day had to do with that in-season tournament that is going on in the National Basketball Association. We're down to what is called the knockout round now of the in-season tournament. And so there are only 8 teams left. There'll be quarterfinals on Monday and Tuesday. Semifinals, as J-Dub mentioned, next Thursday. And then the finals will be a week from Saturday in Las Vegas, Nevada. So we'll go back to our question of the day from yesterday, and that was, where are you at now with this whole in-season tournament? If I can find our question. I mean, this guy that owns this Twitter, he just keeps changing it up every day, so it's harder for me to find my stuff. Don't do that, Elon, whatever your last name is, Elon Musk. Okay, so anyway.
You heard it. DK's calling you out, buddy.
Yeah, Elon. Quit changing things up so I can't find my stuff. So yay or nay? Suns in the in-season tournament knockout round. Do you like it? Yay, better than not. Nay, doesn't matter. 83% final vote. 83% saying yay, better than not being in the quarterfinals. But now potentially, depending on what's going on with Booker's ankle, it might only be Kevin Durant because Bradley Beal obviously is probably still a few weeks away, or at least a week away from us knowing when he might come back.
Yeah.
And be able to play.
Reevaluated in a couple weeks is what I heard, yeah.
Reevaluated. Cricket.
I see J-Dub.
How about that?
Hello.
There he is, Mr. America.
Sure.
J.W. Madden is back. All it took was unplugging a cord.
And like plugging it back in, kind of the equivalent of turning it off?
No.
Okay.
Do not plug that cord back in because we might lose him again. So we don't want that. We took that camera away, which we don't ever use, that number 4 camera, which we don't use that anyway. So we don't need that. But there we are. We got the whole crew today.
Hello, everybody.
Everybody's back. If you're watching us on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook Live, or YouTube, you can see everyone on the program right now. So, cricket.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you got some tickets later, huh?
I do.
What do you got today?
We've got Tucson Roadrunner tickets for Saturday night's game. We'll give the tickets away at... I'm making executive decisions.
Oh.
I say at 5 today.
5 o'clock.
Is that okay? It's a 4-pack.
All right.
I'm bossy.
Did you go into somebody's office and get a raise or something to be able to make executive decisions on this show?
I'm just saying.
My goodness.
And we'll do 4 tickets.
4 tickets. 4 tickets
Yes.
at 5.
Cricket, can you boss the listeners into making sure that a hockey fan calls in and wins those tickets? Because that's always preferable.
Yeah,
I
that's
insist.
always preferable.
I certainly hope so, or someone ready
Outstanding.
to be a hockey fan.
Yesterday,
Outstanding.
the winner loves hockey, and
Yeah.
his
perfect.
son played at NAU, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, it was that
was
we
a good
like
one.
that. We like it when we can give away hockey tickets to hockey fans.
To
for sure.
fans, for sure.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right. So, cricket, it is, we're obviously in the Christmas season here in Arizona. It doesn't really snow. So, but when was the first time you ever saw snow? Like live?
I remember, I forget what year it was. I don't know if you
It's
were
like
here.
80.
I was thinking, it was, believe it or not, it was Easter in the 80s.
Yeah.
Would
It
you
was
remember what year
early
that was?
80s.
Oh, wow.
Early 80s. Yeah, that's when I remember. Like,
It snowed on Easter here?
Isn't
Yeah,
that
with big
weird?
flakes. Like when
Wow.
we were kids, there was one day where it would
Easter.
Yeah. It was a one day. Then there was the one Christmas Eve, like 84, 85 or something like that,
Wow.
where it didn't
Yeah.
snow all year, hadn't snowed in years in the valley. Now, back in those days, Mount Lemon got a ton of snow.
Always,
But
yeah.
not down here. But that one day we had a white Christmas where we woke up the next day and there was 3 inches on the ground.
Really?
It snowed hard all night
gosh.
long.
decently, yeah.
Yeah.
Kids must have, you all must have been going crazy.
Like,
as
this
Well,
is
kids.
here's my
so
thing I like to
cool.
tell people. I grew up on Swanee River and bus across, River, Sunrise, all those roads.
Yeah.
Back in those days, they didn't have pipes underneath the roads.
Right, so
All
it
the
would
washes
freeze.
went over the top of the road. So whenever there was snow melt or big rains, we didn't go to school. We had flood days. So we got days off of school for flood. But those days, DK, if you can imagine, when you get, a quarter inch of snow falling from the sky during the middle of a school day, you cannot keep desert kids paying
Yeah.
attention to what the teacher's saying. Everybody's looking out the window.
Like,
so
what is that?
we all remember those days for
yeah,
sure.
first there has only been a few.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cool. That's a white Christmas here in Arizona.
And a
That-
white Easter at one
And
point.
a white, Jesus
Interesting.
Christ, my goodness. Well, we'll have to see maybe if we get lucky on that this year. I don't know. I mean, I can only imagine the kids going crazy in 1984 on that day, though. All right, getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather. Here's Cricket.
And from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Reported collisions, Golf Links and Houghton and Golf Links. Also, La Cañada and Duval Mine Road. Just a heads up, there's a special promotion today at Circle K's across town from 4 to 7. So there will probably be a lot of extra traffic visiting Circle K's. We do have a 50% chance of rain overnight. Very good chance of snow on the mountains. Into the morning, 49 our overnight low, partly cloudy, and 62 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Save big during Lowe's 25 days of deals. Right now, get up to 50% off select artificial Christmas trees, holiday lights, and more. Lowe's knows deals every day. Valid through 12/6 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Clones. When you want the Jim Rome Show, remember to tune in to 1290.
Ah, sweet!
Wildcats Radio 1290 is Tucson's home for the Jim Rome Show. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Trusting the process.
Hey guys, I have a riddle.
I hate it already.
I'm wearing a polar bear disguise to provide service with no compromise.
You're an Alaskification.
Wait, I'm not done. It's a vital annual task, even though I'm behind a mask.
Alaskification. You're an Alaskification.
Don't spoil it for Ron.
Alaskification.
When I'm done, you won't shed a tear, because your heater will be guaranteed for a whole long year. Who am I?
Alaskification.
How'd you guess?
Gary, everyone knows the Alaskification from Alaskan AC is the finest furnace tune-up in town.
Everybody also knows Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns for a year.
And everybody also knows it helps you save money on your utilities.
Wow, how quickly did you figure it out?
As soon as you said, I like to dress up in costumes.
I never said that.
I know what I heard.
Ron?
That kind of gave it away.
Bah, what do you guys know? I'm gonna go take care of our customers with our world-famous Alaskifications.
Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
Don't forget your fluffy tail.
Oh, thanks.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer Jaron.
I'm the singer and guitarist in a band, and I use my Cricket phone for everything. It's basically like another band member.
Don't miss a single beat. Switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial. Must bring your number to Cricket on up to a $60 a month voice plan depending on device. Select models only while supplies last. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See store for details.
Honey, come here, quick. All these highly rated tequilas are priced so low. Total Wine must have made a mistake.
Nope. They've had the lowest prices for over 30 years.
Whoa! I mean, whoa.
Find what you love at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly. B21. Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
this November. I'm grateful for the most thrilling casino action around.
Not to mention next level fun and unbeatable winning.
You got it.
Find it all at Desert Diamond Casinos.
And this month is all about the excitement.
You bet it is.
At Tucson, there are giveaways galore. Come out every Thursday for Road to Riches, where there are over $100,000 in prizes up for grabs. Plus, there's 10K Saturday, Diamond Sunday Bingo, and more.
I'm there.
At Sahuarita, there are more great events, plus incredible entertainment all month at the Diamond Center's Sahuarita.
Count me in.
Then make your picks each week to score your share of over $1 million. It's $1 Million Pro Football Frenzy at Tucson, Sahuarita, and Y.
That's true, Tucson.
It's always a good time at Desert Diamond Casinos.
True.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
See Rewards Center for details.
Tucson has a brand new platform for some of the leading conservative voices and opinion makers in America. It's the all-new Freedom 1400 KTUC. Freedom 1400 is the new home for conservative talk in Tucson. Voices you know and trust from Fox News Television, Newsmax Television, or your favorite conservative podcasts. When you want fresh, entertaining conservative talk, go to 1400 AM or stream it at freedom1400.com and listen to the new Freedom 1400.
Now, I don't want to make a big deal about this, but I'm going to anyway.
The Chevy Silverado is now the #1 selling full-size pickup in Arizona.
So, come to O'Reilly Chevrolet and find out why so many fellow Arizonans are in love with this truck. See them all at O'Reilly.com, call 747-8000, or test drive one today on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads during the final days of truck season at O'Reilly Chevrolet. More than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
See dealer for details.
Listen to the home of the Wildcats wherever you are on your iPhone and iPad by downloading our new app in the App Store so you can tune in wherever you are 24 hours a day. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. I knew we could not put off getting life insurance. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $40 a month. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $18 a month.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050 or go to SelectQuote.com now. That's 1-800-452-5050. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Today on Hey Culligan Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Tucson area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
DK on the sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Where were you when it snowed on Christmas here in Tucson? Now, J-Dub, I got a tweet. I got a text from Uncle Freddie, Coach Fred Harvey.
Yeah.
He said it was 1987.
Yeah, that checks out.
The white Christmas. He said that was his first year in Arizona.
Yeah, it was a lot of snow, too. I mean, my dad was living kind of by Sabino Canyon, so we were a little closer to the mountains. I think we might have got a little more snow where we were than they did on campus, for instance. But there was snow on the ground, David Kelly. Like, that's the rare thing in the valley. Right. You see snow fall, but having it stick and stay on the ground with the ground being cold enough that it'll retain and not turn directly into water. But yeah, 87 Christmas morning, and it hadn't snowed in a while. So it was unexpected. I'm sure meteorologists probably thought it was coming, but we didn't know it was coming. And I remember making up that morning very surprised. I was like, I was prime Christmas age too. I was 11 or 12, something like that.
See, now I was gone. Last March when that day it snowed. I was going up for the women's basketball tournament.
We got a lot of
basketball tournament in Las Vegas. So I caught the snow right when I got to what's the town? Winslow. Not Winslow. The other one. Wickenburg. No, not Wickenburg. The one that's further. The one that's by the border.
Kingsman.
Kingman. Thank you. I caught the snow at Kingman right as I was coming into Kingman, and it was so bad. You get off the freeway there, and you get off 40, and then you take kind of the over the mountain through the path route. That was so stacked up. Like I generally stop there, and I'll either gas up, maybe get something to eat, go to the bathroom. And so when I pulled out of the gas station, it was so backed up, and literally I got in line and behind the cars, and I was there for about 20 minutes and nothing was happening. So I found an opportunity to turn off, and I circled back around, got back on the freeway, went down about another 2 exits, and took a different route to escape that backup that was on. I'll have to look up which road that is. I think
it says here 3.5 inches at the airport and 3.7 on campus that day. So they did get a substantial amount.
It was March 3rd or something, or it was right.
No, I'm talking about the White Christmas Day.
Oh, the White Christmas Day. Okay. Yeah, but I don't. So I guess, and we'll get back to this because we're going to talk to Brian Jeffries right now, the voice of the Arizona Wildcats, joins us. In fact, Brian, you were here in 1987, right?
Yes, I was.
Do you remember the White Christmas of 1987?
I do. There have been 2 White Christmases since I moved to Tucson, and I'll never forget that one. I would always kid my wife. Every morning we'd get up. In the middle of the summer, I'd peek outside and I would say, "Oh, there's a foot of snow on the ground." Of course, just to get a laugh. And that morning I did. And of course, she didn't believe me because I would always say that. And then I waited for her to actually see it. And that was one of those fun moments in life. Yeah.
Outstanding. Yeah. Well, it was even more fun in Tempe on Saturday. What did you like about what the Wildcats did and kind of finishing the season off with a 6th straight win, a dominating victory over the Arizona State Sun Devils?
Well, I think just the way they came out and attacked, and they talked about it, and over the throughout the 6-game win streak, that's one thing that they've talked about: their hunger, their ability to go out and attack on offense and defense. And you don't know from week to week, okay, can they keep that edge? Because that's a tough thing, as you know, to do in sports, and in particular in team sports like that. And other than that first half at Colorado, I think the Wildcats have come out with that same attitude, that same hunger every game. And the great thing about that Colorado win was, of course, is they got it rolling in the second half and won the game. But, you're facing your rival. There's so many things that can go wrong in a game like that because of all the emotions involved. And I just thought the focus the Wildcats had, again, on offense and defense was tremendous. And you couldn't ask for a better way to end the regular season, beating your hated rival, number one, but just getting to 9 wins and kind of cementing a really good bowl and everything that goes with it. It was a great day for the seniors. And I can't remember, a game better than that. Certainly Arizona's won some games in Tempe before, but nothing like that in terms of the way they played and the way they dominated ASU.
I mean, the second best pass catching performance ever in the Territorial Cup game by an Arizona Wildcat for Tetro McMillan, the 266 yards. You obviously saw Jeremy McDaniel play for Arizona. Are they similar? Are they different? How would you compare those 2 fine receivers that have now the top 2 single game performances for this program?
Well, and no offense to Jeremy McDaniel, he was an outstanding receiver, but I think Tetro McMillan is the most talented receiver I've ever seen wear an Arizona uniform. And consider he's only played 24 games now, and look at what he's been able to do in those 24 games. And he keeps getting better every week. Jeremy was very consistent and outstanding receiver, but I put McMillan ahead of him right now, and I would call him the greatest receiver maybe in Arizona football history. If you take a look at what he could do if he stays around for 2 more years, just spectacular. The catches he makes, he's got tremendous hands, runs great routes, which I always kid Lamont about because shouldn't everybody run a great route? But he just seems to be able to figure out where to go, where the defense is missing. And that's just a sense that I think a lot of guys don't have, but he's got it. He's just got that dimension that says, I know where no one's going to follow me. It's like playing hide and seek, and he knows where to hide, and no one knows where to seek him, I guess.
Something to be said about route running, for sure. Were you and Lamont just kind of looking at each other on some of those passes and say, well, it's like this is the, like you said, I mean, he may possibly be the best receiver in program history. He was by far, if not the best receiver on the field, but yet there were times that they didn't even guard him. And I mean, we were like saying to ourselves, well, how do you not guard Tetero McMillan?
Well, I agree with that. I mean, I would have been double teaming him and triple teaming him and doing everything you can to take him out of the game. And, that's a question that only the ASU defensive staff can answer. I just think it goes back to, again, how good he is and his ability, I think, to understand the defense and know the right place to be at the right time and knowing where he's going. So I'm going to give him the credit. We can sit around and bash ASU's defense all we want, but I just think it was a better receiver than they had anybody on their defensive side.
Brian Jeffries, the voice of the Wildcats, joining us now. Brian, if I'm not mistaken, you MC the banquet, which is going to be this weekend. That's correct?
Yes, Sunday, having their awards banquet. I just want to make a clarification. It is not the end of the year banquet, is the awards banquet, because they're not at the end of their season like a lot of teams are.
Absolutely. So obviously that's an event for the team and the staff and all of that, people around the program. But for those fans that are interested, just what that event is like, what would you tell them about what that night is like for the program?
Well, I honestly don't know, because this is all brand new now. Every coach has done it differently, and they've gone a lot of years without a formal awards banquet. It's something Jed Fish wanted to put together.
Oh, so they haven't done it.
I can't tell you how long ago. I'm trying to remember I think Rich Rodriguez may have done one. And
that was the one I was at, because I think that was 2014, right after. I remember a bunch of us showed up because the rumors about South Carolina had come out that day.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, it was. It's been kind of a crazy thing. Is that, and I couldn't tell you exactly why, but there was some years ago, and you have to go back a ways. They used to have them every year without a doubt, and then all of a sudden, and it was the coach's decision that they decided, we're just not going to do it, or we're going to do something, very private, just with the players, and not make a lot of hoopla out of it. And so they've gone all over the place there. So until tomorrow, when I find out exactly what the format is, I couldn't tell you. I just know Jed Fish is a guy that, loves to reward the players, and this is an opportunity. And I think after you've had a season like this, it's something that he wants to showcase them, let them know how important they have been to the program. So I have a feeling that it's going to be a heck of a day for the players, and that's what it's all about. I mean, it's about them, and they had banquets before where the fans have been there. A lot of fans have been there, but it's all about the players and what they've been able to accomplish. And I think for them to be together, and like I said, oftentimes it's the last time they're together, and that's not going to be the case because they've got another game to play here in a few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll find that destination out on Sunday. The Alamo Bowl and is one of the places on the list. Las Vegas potentially could be one. We'll see what happens with how things shake out up top, and who knows, maybe possibly you fall into a New Year's Six game with a lot of luck. Do you have a favorite bowl of the bowls you've been to, Brian?
Well, a lot of it, it comes down to a couple things. Does Arizona perform well? How's the hospitality, et cetera? I can tell you that we've been to the Holiday Bowl twice. One time it was great. One time it was not. And it had nothing to do with hospitality. It had to do with the outcome of the game.
Yeah.
The Sun Bowl committee, they are incredible hosts down in El Paso. We've been to the Alamo Bowl before. San Antonio's a great city. Las Vegas, they don't have to entertain you in Las Vegas. You can take care of yourself. So I honestly, I don't remember the time we were there. I don't think there was any, I didn't attend any organized events. I think everybody was kind of on their own. And like you said, you're fine with that. Let's see, we played in Shreveport before. Those people did a nice job. I think they had to take that extra step because people don't look at Shreveport as a destination they necessarily want to go to. But that's why those bowl committees do such a good job. If they really want their bowl to be something spectacular, that's why they are in business. And so I've never, like I said, other than the second loss at the Holiday Bowl, I can't remember one that I know Arizona lost the old Freedom Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
That was played in Anaheim, lost to Utah there. That was not a great experience. I mean, not only they lost the game, but they were, they played that thing at Angels Stadium, which was kind of reconfigured for football. It was an odd setting, to say the least.
I was at a Freedom Bowl that did not work out very well for a team that I was there following as well. So I know a little bit about that experience. Hey, Brian, obviously you've got basketball this Saturday against Colgate. These kind of games scare people, these teams from whether it's the Ivy League or the Patriot League are always a bit scary because these teams always seem to be very well coached teams, and they're the type of teams that can sneak up and surprise teams that maybe they don't have as much talent as.
Yeah, I agree. And Colgate is favored to win the Patriot Conference this year. Joe Lunardi already had them in the NCAA tournament by virtue of winning that conference. I watched their game last night, and they're not a great offensive team right now. Maybe they're still feeling that out. They haven't been able to shoot their threes with great consistency. They got a couple big dudes inside, David. I mean, I'm talking 260, 270. That is going to be an excellent challenge for Arizona's big men inside. And Colgate plays really tough defense. So it is one of those mid-majors that you cannot take lightly because they've just got enough talent. They gave Syracuse a pretty good scare earlier this season already. They lost that game. And I think their other two losses are to Yale and Harvard. And I guess if you lose to those, you can't feel bad if you lose to Yale and Harvard, right? I mean, there's got to be something there you can take away. But anyway, well-coached team, 13th year as head coach, and I'm looking forward to it because with these big showcase games, Michigan State and Alabama coming up and FAU and Purdue, et cetera, these are the type of games that sometimes you can overlook. And I don't think the Wildcats have any opportunity to overlook this team.
All right, Brian, I'll tell you what I told Dana the other day. Since you mentioned Shreveport, be glad you did not have to spend New Year's Eve there. Because some of us did.
All right. Well, I know the gumbo was great, and we found a good donut shop the last time we were there. But
there you go.
Yeah, and it was a cold day too.
It was a cold day with a fake Pride of Arizona. Lots of memories on that game there. Hey, Brian, appreciate you. Have a great call Saturday against Colgate.
All right. Thanks, David. See you.
Brian Jeffries, the voice of the Wildcats. Getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather. Here's Cricket.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Reported collisions. Golf links in Houghton and Golf Links, and also La Cañada and Duval Mine Road. And we do have road work continuing along Irvington between Mission and Camino de Oeste through December 4th. Weather-wise, we got a 50% chance of showers overnight into the morning, 49 our overnight low. Partly cloudy, 62 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Mucinex Fast Max Kickstart.
Hey kids, breakfast.
Wow, making pancakes. Seems like you're feeling much better. It was the Mucinex Fast Max Kickstart cold and flu, right?
Yep, good thing I took it the other morning.
New Mucinex Kickstart. All in one and done relief. Use as directed.
TEP's Business Energy Solutions offers a free rebate assessment to help identify energy-saving steps and potential rebates for businesses of any size. Let our experts show you how easy it is to reduce energy costs. Visit TEP.com/solutions for more details.
Hey guys, I have a riddle.
I hate it already.
I'm wearing a polar bear disguise to provide service with no compromise.
You're an Alaskification.
Wait, I'm not done. It's a vital annual task, even though I'm behind a mask.
Alaskification. You're an Alaskification.
Don't spoil it for Ron.
Alaskification.
When I'm done, you won't shed a tear, because your heater will be guaranteed for a whole long year. Who am I?
Alaskification.
How'd you guess?
Gary, everyone knows the Alaskification from Alaskan AC is the finest furnace tune-up in town.
Everybody also knows Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns for a year.
And everybody also knows it helps you save money on your utilities.
Wow, how quickly did you figure it out?
As soon as you said, I like to dress up in costumes.
I never said that.
I know what I heard.
Ron?
That kind of gave it away.
Bah, what do you guys know? I'm going to go take care of our customers with our world-famous Alaskifications.
Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
Don't forget your fluffy tail.
Oh, thanks.
The moments that matter to Wildcats fans are only on 1290. Whether we win,
Put together a solid one tonight. Arizona 31, Texas El Paso 10. That's your final.
or whether we lose.
For review, the runner's elbow was down with the ball short of the 15-yard line.
1290 is always there by your side to bring you all the raw emotion of the moments that matter to Wildcats fans. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcat fans, join head coach Adia Barnes and the Arizona women's basketball team in McHale Center this season. Single game tickets start as low as $17 and are available for purchase now. You won't want to miss the fierce competition coming to Arizona. Tickets are available at ArizonaWildcats.com/WBK. Arizona women's basketball. Let's pack McHale Center.
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime. Tonight, it's a matchup between two of the NFC's most exciting teams when Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks take on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon. It's the Seahawks and the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football, and it's on Prime. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Hey, Scott Lehman here from Premier Auto Center. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center.
Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com.
I'm Scott Lehman, and I'm a dealer for the people.
It's the holiday season, and Famous Footwear is stocked with all the styles your family wants from the brands you love at prices that fit everyone's list. Shop the comfiest Hey Dude shoes and coolest Crocs, or snag the perfect pair of Bear Paw boots and slippers. Plus, for a limited time, find the latest Nike styles for the whole family at savings of up to 30% off. Shop famous.com or bring the whole family into a Famous Footwear near you and spread some cheer this holiday season with the gift of famously great shoes. Valid on select styles.
Hey, I'm Jackie, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the chicken. It is golden brown, so juicy, so delicious. It's the perfect savory start to my day.
Hey, I'm Matt, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the freshly baked, flaky, buttery biscuit. When I take a bite, it's kind of like, crispy, soft, crispy. Crispy outside, soft interior, crispy chicken. There's really nothing like it.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Tucson area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
DK on the sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, we've got an in-studio guest here right now. Pleased to be joined from our guy down the hall, DJ Earn Dollars from 97.5. the vibe. I've been talking about getting you on the program, and it's so good to have you down here. Nice. You got a huge event coming up this weekend. You and some of our other DJ brethren here with inside the building, Crystal, and DJs for PJs over at American Eat Company on Saturday. What's going on with that?
Well, first off, thanks for having me, DK, man. I'm glad to be on this show. You know, we've been friends for a while, and really appreciate the opportunity here. DJs for DJs, PJs. DJs for PJs. DJs for PJs. It's a charity event that we do. This is our second year doing it. The first year, last year, was a success. We kind of just took a chance, to see how it would be like. We didn't have a charity event on the station. We put our heads together, and we came up with this idea, have a great relationship with American Eat Company on South 4th. And they directed us to the Angel Heart Pajama Project. A great woman named Patty who runs it. And they basically get pajamas for kids that are displaced or in foster homes. Their thing is like, cold times. Sometimes a set of warm pajamas makes you feel pretty safe and good. We also take donations of books and monetary donations. So it's a great event. It's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. This Saturday at American Eat Company on South 4th. If you haven't ever been to American Eat Company, you got to go check it out. Food court. Great place.
Awesome
Many
food.
options for food. And they have a bar there, too. The bar is unbelievable. So there's a little bit of everything there. So we set up outside with the whole Vibe crew is going to be there. We have Christmas trees. It's very festive, and you could bring your donations in right there. We're going to be outside. I'm going to be also spinning some tunes out there, also DJing. So we got Dwayne Chavez, Crystal Pino, and myself going to be broadcasting live from American Eat Company.
Yeah, and Dwayne is on staff here now.
Yes, he is. The legend.
Dwayne Chavez.
Legend. We're not worthy of Dwayne Chavez. I've been friends with him for 30 years, probably 25, 30 years. We got our start in radio about the same time. He was there about 2 years before me at another station here in town. And even when he was at that station and I was on Vibe on Afternoon Drive, we competed against each other. But we were each other's, best fans, favorite fans. So it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Earn Dollars joining us here. It's DJs for PJs this Saturday. You said 10 to 4 out at American Eat Company.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm slacking, Earn, because all you guys, I mean, you're out there doing your DJ thing. Just not on the radio, but you do, you do pool parties, you do everything. Chop's out there doing his DJ thing. Pork Chop from Kim. Crystal, I see her all over the place. She's got her in-game things. In fact, she's going to join us tomorrow. She's out at the Road Runners. She's at the women's basketball. I'm like, man, all I do is this. I got to get me a second gig going on, man.
You got to get on it, David. You got to get on it, man.
And if those you don't know, Earn played baseball at the University of Arizona, played at Pima College as well. You could swing it back in the day. My question is, did you ever play any adult baseball? I played adult baseball for about 7 years when I was back in Ohio. Did you ever play any on the adult scene?
No. Okay, so when I got out of pro ball with the Blue Jays, I had a couple friends that were playing MSBL, or softball, and I tried it. And it's crazy. I played once, maybe a couple seasons, because it was a chance for me and my brother to play together. He's a little younger, and I was horrible. I was so bad.
What?
I'm like, how are these people going to think that I was a Division I baseball player and a professional baseball player? I was brutal, horrible. I was like, man, I don't remember this game being this hard.
Now, is that league where they got the keg at second base and you got to chug a beer before you get to third? Is that how that works?
J-Dub, that would have been a better league for me.
Oh, okay.
No, this one was a little more intense.
Come on, Ern. I didn't even hit a home run until I got to adult ball. I mean, I remember the first time I hit my first home run in adult ball, I was like, man, it took me till I was 34 years old to finally get my first home run.
No, man. It was bad. And then I think I just realized that, wow, I must have been pretty successful in baseball through work, like hard work.
Yeah.
When you're in the men's league, you just show up on Sunday and you play.
Right.
And I just remember leaving the game, being so mad, hamstrings hurting, like just not happy. I'm like, why am I even doing this, right? So I played it very briefly, and then I got really into coaching. Love coaching. I could honestly tell you I love playing back when I was playing, but I absolutely love coaching even more.
So what's your philosophy as a coach? I mean, you obviously have a son now that's playing, in different travel leagues and whatnot. What's your philosophy out there as a coach of the game of baseball?
Well, to me, when I first got out of pro ball, I didn't understand it. Like, I was just a former player, probably frustrated, upset at everybody. But my philosophy in coaching is really making it all about the player and letting them know that you're there for them. You have to earn their trust. And it's not what you know about baseball. It's how you can help them be better. And you can't teach them how to be better until you develop a good relationship and a good rapport. They have to know that you care about them. And to me, my philosophy is you put the player first, but you let them know that we're in this together. And there's nothing better. The feeling you get when you see a player develop and you develop that relationship with them and they grow and they're having success, just seeing that happiness and them going through it is why we do it. That's why we do it. It's being a coach, you have to be selfless. And there's some coaches out there that is strictly about their ego. And you got to check that aside. It's not about you. It's about the player, it's about the kid. And mentoring them, not just in the sport of baseball, but just little things like the platform of baseball can help you set up coaching to help them have success in life. And it's crazy. I run into former players all the time. They still call me coach, and they always say that what I did with them as a coach helped them with their careers. And so that, to me, that's huge. You're an impact in lives as a coach.
Yeah,
you can impact so many lives, and some coaches don't even realize it. It's good or bad, right? You could turn some kid away and make them hate the sport, or you can make them fall in love with it. And trusting the process. And that's what I always tell them. Is like the process is overlooked a lot of times. And that process is frustrating sometimes. So I always tell them, guys, I know it's frustrating, but trust it, respect it, and also embrace it. Embrace the process. Because when you get to where you need to get to, you're going to look back and go, man, that time when I was learning all that stuff was huge.
It's funny because growth pains, right, is like a term we hear from kids all the time, and that's about growing, your body actually having physical. But it's the same, any new skill that you're trying to pick up, and being a coach, obviously, that has the best interests of those players at heart, and you want them to be the best versions of themselves.
Right.
Helping them understand that the growing portion of that's never going to be easy. In fact, embracing the hard. Embracing the fact that you're going to struggle picking something up, because who picks something up right away and is great at it?
Right.
It's the learning process is always a struggle, and going through it and sticking with it. And that's where, at the end of the day, you're going to become the best version of yourself. If you just don't get so frustrated, just don't give up.
Yeah. And it helps you grow. But the thing I was always saying, the frustrations part of it, if there's no challenge, there's no change, right? If you're not uncomfortable with making an adjustment, that means there's nothing happening. When there's that feeling of being uncomfortable, and you're comfortable with it, and you're having challenges making a change, that means change is happening, right? It's just like the old saying, right? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Sometimes you have to make those adjustments, especially in the game of baseball. Baseball, there's adjustments upon adjustments upon adjustments. It's a game of chess. If you're hitting, one of the lessons I learned hitting in the Pac-10 back in the day was, you start having success, they're going to pitch you different.
They're going to find a way.
They're going to find a different way, because they're not going to let you wear them out.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm hitting balls oppo in the gap, home runs. Now all of a sudden, I'm getting busted in, hard sliders, cutters in my hands. I'm like, okay, I have to make the adjustment now. I have to change my approach. And that's why I tell the kids, it's like, you have to pay attention, be a student of the game, watch the game, slow the game down, and learn a lot about yourself before you can have that success. You have to know who you are and what you're capable of doing.
Earn Dollars from the Vibe 97.5 is joining us. DJ for PJs this Saturday out at the American Eat Company. Before I let you go, Earn, I initially met Earn because I did a story on him back when I was at Channel 13 when you got your college degree.
Yeah.
Cats Forever, which is the program where athletes can go back to the University of Arizona and finish. Talk to the folks about why you needed to do that, why it was important to you.
It was everything. It was something that wasn't finished, and in baseball, I feel like I accomplished a lot. Right, all the accolades and all that, but I still felt like something was missing. I was coaching baseball at Pima at the time, and Coach Stitt was always on me about going back and getting my degree. Coach Stitt's like a second father to me since day one. I was one of his
great man.
I was one of his first recruits when he got the head coaching job at Arizona, and he's always been there for me. Even during the season when I was playing, he used to tell me, he goes, you're going to be an all Pac-10 guy, and you're going to be all this, and he goes, what I'm going to be most happy about is watching you get your degree. And I never forgot that. And this was 2001. I was coaching at Pima, and I was talking to Jason Heisey, who was the coach at Pima, head coach. I was his hitting coach there for 6 seasons. And he's like, you need to go back and get your degree. And I was like, how am I going to do that with a full-time job and a family? So he set something up. I worked overnights at this facility for La Frontera. And I called Jennifer Muse, Dr. Jennifer Muse in McHale. She was there when I played, and she helped me out so much, get the ball rolling, and took advantage of the Cats Forever program. And they paid for my school, and I got my degree. And the important thing for me was for my son, and also my father who was passing away at the time. So it was important for me to finish that while he was still alive. So those are the motivations that made me kind of get that done. And I did it. Not to mention, I left on academic probation in 2001 because, you're young and stupid and you think you got it all figured out. And I had to write a letter to get back in. They let me back in, but they're like, you have to get at least a 2.8 to stay in. I took 15 units coming back. My first time in school since 2001. This is 2015.
Wow.
Big change. I ended up making Dean's List that semester with a 3.6, I think, and I graduated with a 3.8. And I was like, man, from academic probation to Dean's List is unbelievable. So I would say, if anybody can do it, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
So it was important. That bachelor's degree that I have in my office here is more important than any All-American accolades. I was All-American in high school and in college, and that's nothing compared to that bachelor's degree.
Tell the folks again about Saturday.
Saturday, DJs for PJs, American Eat Company on South 4th. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. we'll be broadcasting live. Please bring your monetary donations, books, and pajamas for the kids.
Now, the DJs wearing PJs too?
Yes, we are.
Oh.
You know it.
What's Earn got?
I got a really cool Tupac sweater.
Oh.
It's a ugly Christmas sweater.
Right.
And nothing but a Christmas party, it says. I got that going with some pajama bottoms. Yeah.
What's your favorite song to spin?
Oh, that's too hard. That's so hard. There's so many good ones. I couldn't answer that right now.
Okay, all right. Well, that'll be enough conversation for another day. We'll definitely have you back, Ern. Hey, appreciate you stopping by. Great. Best of luck with the event on Saturday.
Thank you for having me, David. Appreciate it, man.
Earn dollars from 97.5 The Vibe. It is DJ for PJs coming up on Saturday, 10 a.m. Get out there to the American Eat Company down on the south side. DK on the sports tip. I've got J-Dub. I've got Cricket. And we've got you coming up in the next hour. We will talk some basketball and football with Kelvin Ifan, the captain. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Slowdowns westbound Ajo at Mission, northbound Craycroft at 22nd Street, westbound Grant, westbound Speedway, both at I-10. Collisions La Cañada and Duval Mine Road, also golf links in Houghton. Got a 50% chance of rain overnight and into the morning, 49er overnight low. Partly cloudy, 62. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
So I have been in the operating room most of my career, watching people have orthopedic surgery, watching people get knees replaced, hips replaced, shoulders fixed, and I knew there had to be a better way.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a medical director for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain relief.
I see so many people who could have been helped before they got to the operating room if only they had known about regenerative medicine.
QC Kinetics, a natural alternative that uses your your body's own healing properties to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue, providing long-lasting relief without drugs, surgery, or downtime.
Well, it feels great when I do get to see somebody who we help, who I know I kept out of the operating room. It's amazing how we change people's lives without surgery.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 520-497-4955. That's 520-497-4955. 520-497-4955.
Everyone is talking about the Cats and where to find them on the radio.
Wildcat Radio, 1290 AM on your dial. Just talking all day long.
Keep your radio locked to 1290 so you don't miss any of the action.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Let's head out. The theater's about to close.
Wait, what does that sign say?
Warning, watch your step?
No, next to it.
If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60. I didn't know that.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. Dayquil Kids Berry from Vicks. Dayquil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that Dayquil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
Dayquil Kids Berry. The kids' berrylicious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
Remember to tune in to Wildcats Radio 1290 for the biggest pregame show in the Pac-12.
Because that's how we roll.
We go on the air 4 hours before every football and men's basketball game all season long. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Doug. Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else, with the biggest pre- and post-game coverage in the Pac-12. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names. David Scott Kelly. Arizona Cardinals football. The most complete coverage of your bird gang is right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, big news out of Tempe today. The Arizona Cardinals are parting ways with tight end Zach Ertz. And Zach has been dealing with an injury, but was eligible to come back. He'd been placed on IR, but had an opportunity to come off of IR, but the Cardinals never opened his window to come back. So they have mutually agreed to part ways. You know who broke this information, J-Dub?
His wife?
No, it was not Julie Johnston Ertz, the famed member of the women's U.S. women's national soccer team. It was J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt. Breaking news today. He is our newest NFL insider. J.J. Watt at 10:35 this morning sends out the following tweet. Trying new things in retirement. So let's steal Adam Schefter's job for a day. Tight end Zach Ertz has requested and been granted his release from the Arizona Cardinals. The 3-time Pro Bowler plans to sign with a contender and make a run at his second Super Bowl ring. And then in parentheses, after that, he says, "This is easy, Adam."
Right. Well, I mean, He could get into a lot of rooms, that guy. I mean, that's got to be like the most intimidating person at a press conference of all time. J.J. Watt comes in and asks you a question, you're going to answer it.
So that was at 10:35. And then at 10:59 this morning, the Cardinals sent out a tweet. We've released tight end Zach Ertz. So J.J. Watt, who next stop, Canton, Ohio, for him, out there breaking NFL news today as Zach Ertz will be leaving the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, they've got Trey McBride now. Trey played exclusively in the game on Sunday that I was at. The loss to the Los Angeles Rams, 37-14. Good young player. I liked what I saw out of Trey McBride. Hate to see Zach Ertz's career here come to an end, but hopefully he'll get a chance to hook on with a team that's in contention. And like he said, maybe get a chance at that second Super Bowl ring. And who knows? Maybe it might even, I don't know what the tight end situation is in Philadelphia.
It's that time of year, right?
Yeah.
Where some players might find their ways to contenders' rosters.
I mean, obviously, he won that Super Bowl in Philadelphia. Philadelphia right now has got to be the odds-on favorite in the National Football League to win the Super Bowl. So that's definitely a possibility. He still has strong ties to that city. His foundation runs a home there. I believe it's a home for underprivileged kids that they still operate in the Philadelphia area. So that could potentially be a place that we see Zach Ertz down the line. He would be an asset to any of the teams that would want to potentially reach out to him. He had been dealing with a quad injury that had kept him out. He was placed on IR back on October the 24th. But again, he was eligible to return after 4 weeks. So that would have been, I believe, a week ago. And the Cardinals did not open his window to return to practice. They have that, it's a 21-day window once you're on IR that you can begin practicing. And then after that 21 days, they have to make you eligible or you're on IR for the rest of the year. So he's had a number of injuries of late, ACL, MCL as well last season. So he, was dealing with that. And this is the second major injury he's had in the last 2 seasons, but still a guy that could help if the right team comes along. So we surely do wish Zach Ertz all the best. He is a great representative of the Arizona Cardinals since he's been out here in State 48. How about DJ Ugalele entering the transfer portal? The quarterback for the Oregon State Beavers, obviously their coach, Jonathan Smith, has left, and DJ, who transferred to Oregon State from Clemson, will now be looking for another home as he has popped back in to the portal and will try to find a third place to play.
Who are the Beavers playing next year?
Well, that's the interesting thing. There was talk earlier this week that the Beavers and the Washington State Cougars are in talks with the Mountain West Conference on an agreement for football. So it's not anything that would be the forming of a new conference. It's just that they're working on scheduling deals, potentially starting with football, and it could potentially go into other sports as well for next season. So it's not, well, in the long term, could it be something more than that? Maybe. But right now it appears that, Oregon State and Washington State are talking to the Mountain West just about what potentially they could come together with and be in agreement on for next season in football. And then once I imagine they get the football ironed out, it could be other sports as well. Because, again, you got to have a schedule. You got to play somebody. They would essentially be playing as representatives of the Pac-12, but in a alliance with the Mountain West.
Right.
So that's what that would be.
Yeah, I mean, they're still trying to clean up exactly who has the rights, right? That's still they're still litigating that, aren't they?
They are litigating.
Yeah. So, I mean, the official,
And right now, Oregon State and Washington State are winning that litigating.
Well, obviously, the whole issue there was the other 10 schools wanted to dissolve the conference before they left, right? And they have a stay so that Oregon State and Washington State have control. So, yeah, I mean, that's a valuable name, and I don't blame them one bit. But I understand DJ Ugalele transferring out of there because, again, I mean, they played, 6 top 25 teams on their schedule this year, did the Beavers?
Yeah.
And maybe not so much exposure if you're trying to get run up some draft boards because that has to be his goal at this point. Maybe not as much exposure there, and obviously losing the coach has a lot to do with that too.
All right, we were talking yesterday about the NBA in-season tournament and the final stages of that, which the final games on Tuesday, there was a lot of things happening, a lot of teams trying to get to the point differentials that were necessary for them to qualify into the quarterfinal round. The Suns had already played their 4 games, so they were kind of just sitting there at 3-1. They had played a game on last Friday night against the Memphis Grizzlies, longer than maybe they would have in a normal regular season game, but to drive up the point totals needed to qualify into the knockout round. And let's hear from the Suns on this whole scenario and how this played out. A lot of people in the NBA have been talking about it and the effect that it's had on these games and these early season performances and running up scores. And well, JW talked about, what was the Celtics were fouling to try to, to help their cause. Hack a Drummond. Exactly. So Frank Vogel had a few things this week to say about it.
Having them in there? Yeah, well, that's the new world we're living in. It feels very weird, but hopefully all our fans understand that, to get in the tournament, you not only have to have the best, I guess, second place record since the Lakers clinched our group, but you got to win by as many points as you can, So, it's always a feel it out type of situation. If there was dead balls or the differential was, I don't know, maybe greater or whatever, maybe we would pull those guys out, but it just felt natural to just let them close the game out. Book ends up with a bank 3, to just to pad the number a little bit, and hopefully it gives us the best chance of getting this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's a short sample size, 4 games. It's kind of they built it in the form of a soccer tournament, and that's what in soccer it's goal differential. The teams that can score the most goals in a 4-match setting are going to be the teams that have an opportunity to advance if there's tiebreakers, and that's the same thing that kind of the concept here was point differential. So a lot of teams left their starters in late into games, trying to drive up the numbers. And Devin Booker also had some thoughts on it this week.
Teams have been upset, like, okay, why are they trying to run up the score? Can you maybe explain the rules and how that it has to play into these games?
I've seen teams upset about it. I don't know why. I've seen players upset about it. I don't know why. Honestly, I wish every game was like that, where you could play to the end and, it wasn't viewed as disrespectful. Just high competition.
Do you think that's, people always say like baseball, like the traditions of the sport and stuff like that. People are kind of saying this now, like integrity. Do you think that's kind of silly to a degree?
Yeah, if everybody's under the same impression that you're playing to the end, then it would never be a problem.
Now, the first part there, in a vacuum, DK, it doesn't sound great when you're a playoff team. You're playing against a team of 18, 19-year-olds that's destined to lose 60 games that season. Keeping starters in and playing like it's the NBA Finals in the last 5 minutes of the game, that's just not the way it's ever been done. But the last bit there where he says if everybody's on the same page,
yeah,
it doesn't matter if you're down by 40, you play as hard. Ben Mathurin got a bit of a reputation last season, remember, where he was, stripping former teammate Dalen Terry of the ball when the game was quote unquote over. And that attitude of now, I think that was about a 7 or 8 point game at the time, about under 30 seconds or under 20. So it was over, maybe even less, under 10. But when you're up by 30 or 40 with 3 minutes to go, I think that's when you kind of call off the dogs traditionally. But I'm not so sure I completely agree with the first bit there, but the second bit, if everybody's on the same page and you just universally all players agree that it doesn't matter what the score is on the scoreboard, you don't take offense if you got some starters in there playing hard at the end, I think that's fine.
Yeah, Devin sounds like the kind of guy, hey, it's competition. It's kind of what we saw here in the Utah game. It's competition. If you're out there on the field, expect to play hard to the end. Yeah. Why even be on the field? If you think, they should just take a knee and run into the line, man. If you're out there on the field, you need to be ready for everything. You'd be ready for them to drop Jaden Delore back there and have him throw a deep ball to Tetero McMillan. Be ready for it. If you're out there and I'm a defensive back, you're lined up against one of the best receivers in the country. Don't expect he's just gonna, go 50% on a route, on a slant route. Be ready for him to do whatever he has to do, and it's a chance for you to make a name for yourself.
Right. That's why
look at it that way. Hey, if they're going to go deep, I got a chance to go back there and get an interception on this guy.
Yeah, and basketball is pretty common practice. And that's why I never understood when you get the 9th, 10th, 11th guys off the bench in a college basketball game especially, and they basically just jack up a 25-footer as soon as they touch the ball. Like, that's not what the coaching staff wants. It doesn't matter if you have no prospect of getting into real action in real games in situations that matter. It doesn't matter if that's not in the cards for you. When you get in at any time during the game, run the offense. The coaching staff wants to see you because, again, those are practice players. There's a lot of people involved other than the players that get into the score sheet for every game. And so if you get out there, even if the team's up by 40 with 2 minutes to go, don't do things outside of the course of what the coaching staff wants as far as running offense. Just run the offense like you normally would.
All right, still to come today, we're going to talk to Kelvin Ifan. Straight ahead in our next segment, we will get into him with the Territorial Cup game as well as basketball coming up. Some huge contests for this Arizona Wildcats men's basketball team. Also, in the 5 o'clock hour, Dustin Peace is going to join us, the head coach of the Canyon del Oro Dorados. The Dorados have wrapped up practice. They practice early on Thursdays. They've wrapped up their preparation for the Conference 4A state championship game. That will be Friday afternoon tomorrow. In fact, they'll be kicking off right about now in 24 hours up at ASU at Mountain American Stadium against Yuma Catholic with a chance to win the Conference 4A state championship. We have to look that up. The last time, we've had some single champions, obviously recently, Ironwood Ridge, South Point Catholic. In terms of Tucson proper, not necessarily counting, the outer lying areas around Southern Arizona, but when was the last time two Tucson proper teams won state championships in the same year? We'll have to look that up. I'll have to figure out if that's ever happened. I'm sure it's happened before. We'll have to check on that for sure. DK on the sports tip. He's J-Dub. Cricket's going to be back with you as well. Cricket's got tickets coming up. Listen for the cue to call in about 44 minutes. 4 tickets to see the Tucson Roadrunners on Saturday. Cricket's got that coming up, so be with us then. But right now, she's going to get you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Westbound slowdowns, westbound Grant, westbound Speedway at I-10, westbound Ahaway at Mission is busy. Reported collisions, Valencia and Kolb Road, Dodge Boulevard, south of Fort Lowell also reported. 50% chance of rain overnight and into the morning, 49 are overnight low and partly cloudy, 61 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. Come to Big O Tires for the big Black Friday sale now through December 3rd and get up to 140 instant savings off select in-stock Michelin tires at Big O, just in time for your holiday travel plans. Details at bigotires.com. The team you trust.
Remember, if you listen to the Jim Rome Show, you were listening to 1290.
It's all on the up and up. It's all straight, and that's how that is.
Tucson's home of the Jim Rome Show. He's also your home of the NFL. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. It looks like our long, hot summer is finally over, and cooler temperatures are great news for us, and mostly good news for your car. But for some of you, the cooler overnight temperatures will be just enough to trigger your tire's low-pressure warning light. In most cases, you can solve the problem simply by adding the correct amount of air to your tires, and then get back to enjoying the cooler temperatures. As always, you can stop by any of our 14-area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with that low-pressure warning light, we fix those too. This month, mention this ad, and with the purchase of any new tire pressure sensor, we'll install it in your wheel and rebalance your tire absolutely free. You'll find even more specials to get you road trip ready at jackfurriers.com. So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just drive up. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet? Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-919-1441. 800-919-1441. 800-919-1441.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
Tucson, we have something free just for Wildcats fans living in Tucson. You can now catch all the play-by-play action of Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball, and no charge on your smart speaker. Ask it to play Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290. It's time for our Wildcat Insiders.
Am I late? No, my boy, you're just in time.
Each weekday, Wildcats Radio 1290 brings you all the latest news and opinions on Wildcats football and the Pac-12. So bear down, Tucson, and let's talk Arizona football. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Coors Light, official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Chill on, Wildcats.
All right, let's chat with the captain, Kelvin Ifan, U of A football class of 1998, also U of A basketball player as well. Kelvin, I was talking with Brian Jeffries in the last hour about Jeremy McDaniel, your teammate back in the day, and it kind of. What are there similarities between he and Teto McMillan are now at the top of the list in terms of single game receiving? Jeremy is still number one, 283 yards in a single game. T-Mac 266 in the game on Saturday. Are there similarities? What are the differences? How are these two guys maybe alike or not alike as wide receivers?
Well, the part that's similar is both guys were kind of tall. Jeremy was like 6'2", great athlete, great basketball player. He probably could have played on the U of A basketball team, even though at that time that was probably, some of the deepest teams that we ever had. But he had that type of athleticism and talent that he could have played for the basketball team. But great athlete, not necessarily the fastest guy in the world, but the one of the best route runners I've seen, kind of a long strider, but jump balls, got up and got all the jump balls, just a great athlete. So, that's why I say sometimes people got to go and look at the stat. I think he had like 930 yards on the season where, we wasn't the biggest passing team in the world. So with Northcutt having 1,000. So people better go back and look at our teams, man, before they, start trying to write us off.
Well, it's interesting because obviously there are two things that I heard just there that are very similar, and that's that they were both tremendous route runners. Because I've said from the get-go, to me, that was the one thing, even going back to training camp, was just watching T-Mac run his routes and how he, I guess people say he can force depth. He can make a defensive back think he's going deeper and then stop and come back on a dime. And I put up a play where I thought that, just the way it was a play early in the game, the one that went for 57 yards, where he just kind of found the opening in a diamond of defenders to find the right spot to give himself enough space where Noah could fit a pass to him. And people really don't, I guess, people underestimate the importance of being a good route runner. They all think it's all about catching the football, and that's important. But you can be a great receiver just by the type of routes and the ability to run the routes.
Yeah, man, unless you one of those 4-2 guys that's just going to burn the top over the defense and just outrun them. And even that don't work a lot of times for those guys because all the safeties do and the DB just back up, right? Keep that guy in front of you. When you're a great route runner, you don't know if the guy's going fade. You don't know if the guy's going a drag route. You don't know if he's doing a comeback. He make every route looks the same. So it's tough to figure, what he's doing. And people don't realize with that tall body, I think it helps those tall receivers because a lot of times you're so worried about the jump ball, you're not realizing that these guys actually, are running the whole route tree.
Kelvin, when you look back on that game now, as a chance to digest it, anything new that kind of stands out to you about what the Wildcats did in absolutely dismantling the Sun Devils on Saturday?
Man, every time I look at it, and I just go back and just see how they were spreading the ball around, and then just really use T-Mac as just a ridiculous threat to pull the defense back to open, all the other guys up. So. Just great game planning, great execution by all the athletes on the field. It just was a joy to watch overall. And even, you think of it, I think maybe one personal foul. Like I don't remember, a bunch of personal fouls. So it was just a clean game for the guys.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You talk about and that we hadn't seen that, and I wonder sometimes if you get into games like that where one team is noticeably better than the others, that the team that's losing obviously has a lot of frustration, but sometimes I think the time you see a lot of the back and forth are the close games where everybody's you're fighting for that one extra yard because it matters versus games where it's a 30-point blowout or whatever. Not you're not going to have as much anger, I think, brewing on both sides. So
I disagree with you.
Okay.
DJ. I disagree with you. When it's a close game, you don't want to do anything stupid to be the one to give the other team a penalty to get that extra first down or to get that field goal range. So when it's close, it's actually you act a lot better. When it's a blowout, keep your helmet strapped. Keep your helmet strapped because it could get ugly. I was surprised by ASU, honestly, because usually the winning team ain't really tripping. They're winning.
Yeah.
They're finna go to a bowl game. But the losing team usually is a little bit more, I may not win this war, but I'm finna win a battle. I'm gonna take somebody out or I'm gonna do something dirty. Actually, it just seemed like ASU was ready for the season to be over, man. No guys really did too much. I thought number 12 in Scatterbo, I think the running back, and I remember the middle linebacker, 82, those guys played well and they were aggressive, but I didn't really see too many other guys playing with their heart too much.
Yeah, it was interesting because we're so used to seeing really good defensive backs for the Sun Devils. They've had some good guys. Jack Jones comes to mind and some of the guys they've had recently, but they just did not seem to have that on this particular team, and we'll see how that kind of develops as they move forward under Kenny Dillingham. We'll flip the script over to basketball and a game coming up this Saturday against Colgate. And I was saying a little bit earlier in the show, Calvin, these are, again, when you look back that obviously Princeton knocked this team out of the NCAA tournament last March. These teams, like those Patriot League, Ivy League teams, they're the kind of teams that scare you because these teams are always very well coached, very well disciplined teams that, if they start making shots, they can make it very difficult on a team that's got a whole lot more talent than they do.
And I always talk about this, and J-Dub know this as well, and, you're going to know. I always say this. When that Arizona across your chest and a team like Colgate gets to come into a McHale, they're finna bring their all. This is a chance and a moment for them to be able to talk back to their grandkids, their future kids and whatnot, and say, hey, I went in and played well, or I upset Arizona. A lot of times these teams don't get a chance to get to NCAA games. So a lot like we say with football, at the last game when teams are not going to bowl games, this is their NCAA chance. This is their chance to get the power points and all the different things that they need. So, yeah, man, you always have to watch and be leery of these type of teams and take them serious, because they can sneak up on you and make it a tight game at the end. And as we know, anything can go any way.
And Kelvin, that's why players come here, right? I mean, you want to see the best. You want to see, obviously the name Arizona, but it doesn't matter if you got a number next to your name in some kind of standings. I mean, every team's going to come in and give you that best shot. And as a coach, for your players, Kelvin, I mean, that's what you want. You want them to be challenged.
Exactly. That's 100% what you want. You want a team to come in and try to knock you out and knock you off. And a lot of times it's hard to get teams to come and play you at your house already when you're an Arizona-type team. So getting a team like Colgate who isn't afraid of the challenge and guys are up to it, you always have to be ready for these teams. I say all the time that, as an Arizona team, I traveled and went around with that little rock star group Coach Olsen had going on. And when I tell you, man, the town be hyped up when they see an Arizona team. That's how it is.
Calvin Ifan joining us. He's our Arizona Insider, brought to you by Coors Light. Coors Light, and its official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Coors Light, there's nothing like game day at Arizona. Interesting, we heard from Tommy Lloyd today, Kelvin, and I asked him just kind of about the struggles at the line right now for Umar Ballo, who is not shooting free throws as well as he had last year and the year before. But Coach made an interesting point. He said, look, he's working on it. He'll get better at it. But the flip side is that if Umar is at the line, that means that we're getting their big men into foul trouble, and we'll take that any day.
Any day. And not only are you getting their big man into foul trouble, you're getting that foul count up to where you're getting into the 1-and-1, where you get into the two-shot foul.
Right.
And people eating up a lot of those fouls. You even getting fouls on the guards, having to try to double down in there and break down in there, and you end up grabbing his arm as he's going up. So you even end up getting a lot of the guards in foul trouble. So, no, anytime you have that big guy in there, of course you don't want to miss some free throws at the end of the game where they end up costing you the most. Of course, during the game they cost you, but you got time to rectify that with rebound putbacks and dunks and, knocking down shots. But at the end of the game, of course, you might have to take him out of there, but during that game, he has a chance to show if he got it, so if he's knocking down free throws, you keep him in there. If he's not, he's a basketball player. He understands if he has to come out.
Kelvin, interesting. We heard from Colin Boswell as well today, and one of the topics with both Colin and Coach was just kind of what guys are talking about in the locker room in terms of the future. And Tommy says, I'm not worried about if a guy is on a draft board. He goes, I don't deal in mock or any of that kind of stuff. But Colin, also talked about, that as well. If players realize that, if they see it, that kind of thing. What do you remember about, because you were on obviously some pretty good basketball teams here. Oh, yeah. What do you remember about that aspect of it? Were guys, were they looking at the draft boards during the season? Were they talking about that kind of thing in the locker room back in the day?
Well, the internet wasn't as famous back then.
Right.
I don't want to date myself. But you know what? No, not as much. Guys knew their status, and guys knew that you needed to win to continue to have that respect in those rankings. And so to me, the focus always, basketball or the football team I was on, the focus always was on winning, because everybody understands the more you win, the more spoils everybody's going to be able to share. Some more than others, but the more you win. So I felt like everybody was focused on that. I'll be honest, the only time I felt a little pressure, that I felt like guys had a little pressure, was around the NCAA time, the NCAA tournament time. It felt like, Maybe then guys had a little more pressure than usual, but we were the targets everywhere that we went. So, it's kind of probably had something to do with that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. A target back then and still a target now. For sure. Kelvin, we will look forward to talking to you early Saturday. Once again, we got breakfast with the Wildcats. It's becoming a thing here the last few Saturdays, whether it's football or basketball. We'll get the folks early and ready to go for Colgate on Saturday morning at 9.
Oh, yeah, right down. Catch you guys in.
Thanks to Coors Light for bringing you today's Arizona Insiders on Wildcats Radio 1290. Coors Light, official corporate sponsors of Arizona Athletics. There's nothing like game day in Arizona.
All right. Coming up next, 75 big ones are on the line. A $75 gift card courtesy of Miller Lite. It's the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge coming up after the break. I'm going to give you the cue to call. I'll pick the game. Can you pick the winner for $75? It's the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge next. Wildcats Radio 1290. I'm David Kelly. It's DK on the Sports Tip.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together with collisions reported Valencia and Kolb Road, Dodge Boulevard south of Fort Lowell. Some slowing on eastbound Fort Lowell at Alvernon Way, southbound La Cholla at Ajo for backups, and more slowing westbound Ajo at Mission. 50% chance of rain overnight tonight and into the morning. 49 our overnight low. And it's 61, partly cloudy now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Boost Infinite.
Boost Infinite's new wireless technology switches between networks, giving you the best service at a lower price. Switch today. Call 855-55-BOOST, visit boostinfinite.com, or go to amazon.com and search for Boost iPhone 15.
Football and Miller Lite, America's greatest pairing. Can cracks a kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Knocking on bar tops for luck. Kicking back on any given Sunday. You never forget the way some things taste. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Wildcat fans, join head coach Adia Barnes and the Arizona women's basketball team in McHale Center this season. Single game tickets start as low as $17 and are available for purchase now. You won't want to miss the fierce competition coming to Arizona. Tickets are available at ArizonaWildcats.com/WBK. Arizona women's basketball. Let's pack McHale Center.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because mulch. We're cutting prices on your favorite brands this holiday season. Save on Milwaukee, Ingersoll Rand, and Metaltech in-store or at northerntool.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
1290 brings you the passion of football like no one else.
Pittsburgh 12, 3rd and 7 for Mahomes in the gun, flanked by the running back McKinnon. Shotgun snap, they rush 5, pump fake and a line drive into the end zone, over the shoulder catch in the back corner. It is caught for the touchdown. Grab by Pringle.
This season, 1290 will bring you almost 100 NFL and college football games. It's not flexing, it's just the truth. Scoreboard 1290, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Dell's Cyber Monday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Well, it's that time of year. You dress the kids up for the holiday parties, and they hate it. You dress everybody up for the annual holiday card picture, and, well, everybody hates that. You even dress the turkey, and we're pretty sure he's not happy about that. This year, dress up your yard in time for the holidays. Call Dorado Rockin' Materials, and we promise there will be no complaints. Make your yard beautiful and worry-free with their personal service and convenient delivery times. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
I thought learning a language would be too much work, but Babbel makes learning fun. J'aime Babbel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes, and soon you turn and realize, hey, I'm starting to speak another language. How'd that happen?
Babbel isn't robots talking. You learn words and phrases from real native speakers. I was ready for real-life conversations in just a few weeks. So easy.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, we have reached that time of the week. It is time for the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge. You can win money this football season by placing a bet on the right team. I picked the game. Can you pick the winner? That is the question. All right, 2 weeks in a row, the contestants have not picked the winner. So the money right now, it's $25 generally, but we roll it over if I win and you lose. And I've won the last 2 weeks with the Cleveland Browns and the Los Angeles Rams. How about that, J-Dub? I have won the last 2 weeks with my two favorite teams of my childhood.
Yeah, it's almost like karma or something.
So maybe I need to pick I don't know if I had a third team growing up. Maybe I should pick that game this week. I don't know. There's not any really good matchups in terms of the line. So I don't think I was a fan of either of these two teams that we're going to be playing growing up. But right now, okay, so I picked the game. Can you pick the winner? If you pick the winner, you're going to walk away with a $75 gift card from Miller Lite. The games this weekend are on December the 3rd. So right now, it's caller number 3. Caller number 3 to 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Right now, caller number 3 is in the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge. I picked the game. Can you pick the winner? We've got more information on the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge. Just head on over right now to our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. I don't know if it may be on our app. I'll have to look for it. I'm getting our app together. Our app right now is crap, but soon, as J-Dub said, our app is going to slap. I like that. And then we'll all give each other some dap because our app is going to be kicking. I'm gonna send out another what do they call it, notification later today. I'm all giddy on I'm all down on these notifications. I'm gonna be sending out notifications now.
Yeah, people love it when they get endless
that's
notifications.
All I do. I get notifications. Like if I roll through my phone right now, I got Shohei Ohtani wins the 3rd consecutive Edgar Martinez Outstanding Designated Hitter Award. Did you know that?
I did not.
Okay, I got a message on that today. Breaking news, the Humane Society, which of course is next door.
Right.
I don't know if we should talk really loud because
they might hear you.
They're next door. But apparently, there's been some stuff going on over there. I don't know if you've heard about it, J-Dub. But
barking. I hear a lot of barking coming from over there.
Yeah, they bark, and then they make the wolves bark or the coyotes bark, and it's just like it was right about 2:45.
I did.
It was a howling party out there here in the CNWT.
Well, I'm in a sound studio, David Kelly, and
so
we're
you
supposed to
couldn't
be
hear it.
insulated from that kind of thing,
Yeah.
but I could hear the howling as I was working on some pre-show activity. So, yeah, I did hear them for sure.
Okay. So I'm going to just read this headline since they're right next door. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona reveals the findings of its third-party investigation into the mystery of what happened to more than 300 small pets it sent to a known reptile breeder.
That's a super dark story.
Yeah.
I've been following. That's been going on for like many months now.
Yeah, that's my guy, Chorus Nylander over at News 4 Tucson, the investigator. He's been all over that. So I got that notification today. So I'm going to be sending out you're going to be getting notifications from me if you download our app. Go do it now because it's about to start slapping.
My question is, if notifications come fast and hard and heavy from an app, does that make the app crap or slap? Because I think
it's going to make it slap.
Oh, you think so?
I think so.
It depends. I think it depends. It's like that Boy Who Cried Wolf thing. It's like if it's every 5 minutes.
Better than nothing, right?
Well,
it's like the Suns.
You just want to
better to be in than not to be in.
You just want
right?
to inform the people. That's all you're trying to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not gonna get like. I'll probably if the Wildcats win, I'll send out an app that says or a notification just saying that the Wildcats won tonight, and that our show and listen to our show because we're gonna talk about it after the game. So I'll be sending out some notifications about that.
That notification slaps. DK.
There you go. All right, Richie. Welcome to DK on the Sports Hip Wildcats Radio 1290. You are this week's contestant in the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge. How are you, Richie?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Good. Richie, do you follow the NFL?
Oh, absolutely. Avid Steelers fan.
Oh, gosh.
My entire life.
Jesus. All right. Well, I've got the better hand on you then right now because I'm a Browns fan and we beat y'all a few weeks ago on a last-second field goal because your former offensive coordinator decided to throw the ball around and take only 14 seconds off the clock in the final couple of minutes of the game. And so thank you for that, Matt Canada.
Yeah, our pleasure. Our pleasure. We were feeling bad for Browns fans, so we had to give them one this year.
There you go. All right. Well, we won't be picking a game involving the Browns or the Steelers, Richie. But here's how it works. I'm going to pick the game. You'll get a chance to pick the team you think's going to win. If that team wins, you're going to walk away with a $75 gift certificate, or I'm sorry, a $75 gift card from Miller Lite because no one has won the last 2 weeks. And so it's gone from 25 to 50 now to 75. And if you pick the wrong team, somebody is going to have a chance next week to win $100. So this is the game that we have got this week. 11 o'clock a.m. on CBS in Nashville, Tennessee at Nissan Stadium. It's the Indianapolis Colts at 6-5 against the Tennessee Titans at 4-7. The Colts are 4-1 this season on the road. The Titans are 4-1 this season at home. Indianapolis is a 1-point favorite in this game. I'm just giving you that line. It has nothing to do with what we're doing. This is a straight-up pick. Who are you taking between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans, Richie?
Ooh, that is a tough choice. Jonathan Taylor's going to be out, so I am going to go.
He is going to pick the Titans. Okay, I've won already once this season with the Titans, and I believe we had the Colts earlier this season, and I lost with them because they fell at the Texans. So I will have the Indianapolis Colts. You will have the Titans. You believe because Jonathan Taylor is out, I heard that as well, due to injury, but you don't think Gardner Minshew, our favorite mustached man from Wazoo, is going to throw many touchdown passes against the Titans defense?
I don't know. I mean, that run game sets everything else up. So if you're kind of slacking in that game, it's going to be hard to get the ball slinging around the field. So I'm going to stick with Derrick Henry and the Titans.
Derrick Henry only 739 yards, 6 touchdowns. I think he's maybe I don't want to say he's turned the corner to the downside of his career, but that's possible. Well, when's the last time you went to a Steelers game, Richie?
Actually, we went to the Steelers-Packers game earlier this year.
Really?
So that was a lot of fun with my dad and my brother and my 5-year-old son. So,
Now, was that a home game?
We went to Pittsburgh, yeah.
Okay, outstanding. That's awesome. Did you guys get how old is your son? You said you took your son?
Yeah, he's 5.
5 years old, so that was his first NFL game?
First NFL game. Got
Wow.
to pick him on his turf towel and everything.
What was it like just to kind of watch him experience that?
It was really great. You know, once that terrible towel gets waving, you know, everyone participates, and he was completely unprompted in the third quarter and saw the whole crowd doing it and picked it up and just started waving it, and you know that was a good proud dad moment there.
All right, well, who's your favorite player all time, Richie?
Ooh, definitely have to be Troy Polamalu.
Troy
he was a beast on defense.
Polamalu. All right, that's a good choice there. I went to I'm a USC grad, so back when I followed my Trojans, I don't know if you know, Richie, but I'm not following my team right now because they're moving to the Big Ten, and I'm not happy about that. But back when I was following my team and Troy Polamalu was playing for them, loved that guy. Great player. Had a chance. I actually had a chance earlier this year. I don't know if you know, Ryan Clark's son plays at ASU. Ryan Clark, the former Steeler.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, his son plays at ASU. Had a chance to talk to his son, and he said that I asked him, who's your favorite NFL uncle? And he said, Troy Polamalu. So Troy Polamalu has had an impact on a lot of people. That's a good choice there, Richie. All right, Richie, stay on the line. J-Dub is going to get your information, and we'll probably we won't have a show next week because we're going to take some days off, but we'll reconvene with you the following week and talk about what happened in the game, and he'll let you know how you can pick up your prize, because you get a prize either way, even if you don't win.
Here's the question I have: if we don't have a show next week, then is this 75 or 100?
Ooh, well,
I'm all for the 100.
I know, right? I mean, normally we might have to do 75 for this and carry the next one over to 50.
Yeah.
Share the wealth. I like.
Yeah, there we go. We'll do 75 for this one, and then we'll carry the next one over to 50. That's okay. J-Dub runs this thing, and whatever J-Dub says, that's what goes. All right, Richie, we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Richie is the player this week in the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge. He takes the Tennessee Titans. I've got the Indianapolis Colts. That is the game this week in Nashville. It is scheduled to be 57 degrees. The Colts on the road are a 1-point favorite. They have won 4 out of 5 on the road this year. The Titans have won 4 out of 5 at home. So this is going to be a good game to watch this Sunday. All right. You could have a chance to win. Like I said, you may have heard me mention. So we will not be on the air next week. We're going to take a week off from shows next week. It's been a very busy November with a lot of games, a lot of football, a lot of basketball, a lot of late nights and early mornings. And so we're going to take a week off from shows and kind of recharge our batteries to get ready for what we think is going to be an exciting December. There's a lot of big-time Arizona men's basketball. We've got something really big brewing for Arizona basketball in December. We'll announce that probably the week we come back. So that'll be December the 11th. We'll announce that the week we'll come back on the air. Monday, December 11th will be our first show back, and we got something big we're brewing with Arizona basketball. We'll tell you about that as well. We'll know the bowl destination. We're still going to be covering our press conferences and stuff. So I believe I heard Jed Fish is going to talk on Sunday night after the announcement of the bowl, and so we'll make sure, again, our website, Wildcats Radio 1290, head over to that. We'll have all of that information on there in terms of Jed Fish, where they're going, all of that for the Arizona football team. And like I said, if you download our app now, go to the App Store, download our app now, because our app, although it's crap, is about to slap, and you're going to want to be on board because this train is rolling, folks. This train, Wildcats Radio 1290, is rolling, and you do not want to be left behind at the train station. Be on board with us. Lots of exciting stuff. Saturday is going to be an awesome day of college basketball. Awesome day of college basketball. We're going to have college basketball, Arizona Wildcats college basketball on 1290 beginning from 9 o'clock in the morning all the way till about 9 o'clock at night. 12 hours between the Arizona men taking on Colgate and us getting you ready and breaking you down from that all the way through the Arizona women's team, and they're taking a trip up to Las Vegas. They're going to take on the Rebels from UNLV, and we'll have that game for you as well. Basketball all day here on Wildcats Radio 1290 this Saturday. Do not miss that. All right. We do have NFL football coming up for you. I totally forgot about that. We do have NFL football coming up for you. That's going to be 5:30. Starts at 5:30 tonight. Seattle Seahawks at the Dallas Cowboys. That's coming up for you. Also, next hour, we're going to talk to Dustin Peace, the head football coach at Canyon del Oro. The Dorados are playing in the state championship game on Friday afternoon, late Friday afternoon, up at ASU at Mountain America Stadium against Yuma Catholic. So we'll talk to Dustin Peace about that. First trip back to the state championship for Dustin Peace since his Dorados went 2 years in a row in 2009, 2010. Kadeem Carey's squad ran roughshod over Jay Campos and the Sabino SaberCats 40-0. 40-0 in 2009. And then the next year, the Dorados lost to Scottsdale Saguaro, the second as they tried to repeat as the champions. Taking a while to get back.
I got a question. So you mentioned Gardner Minshew earlier,
yeah,
right? And his facial hair.
Right.
He's a Cougar.
Yeah.
And that's not too far away from Gonzaga. What's up with that? What's up with all the facial hair up in that part of the world?
Oh, yeah. Gonzaga's had a few guys like that, right?
More
like
than a few.
Adam Morrison comes to mind.
Yes, quite a few. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's definitely some kind of
it's
trend going
cold,
on.
so I guess you got to have something to keep your face warm up there.
I guess,
right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just pointing out a trend. I'm not trying to figure out why or how or what. I'm just pointing out there's definitely something going on in Eastern Washington.
Yeah. All right. He is J-Dub. Cricket's coming shortly. She's got tickets. Listen to the cue to call right in about 6 minutes or so. I'm David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. It's Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Reported collisions, Ina and Thornydale westbound slowing on Ina at Thornydale. Dodge Boulevard south of Fort Lowell also clearing. Kolb and Valencia and Kolb Road. Some slowing on eastbound Fort Lowell at Alvernon Way, westbound Grant, westbound Speedway, both approaching I-10 also for backups. So we do have a 50% chance of rain overnight tonight with 49 our overnight low, partly cloudy, 60 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Halloween is over, but hiring is still scary. Indeed's end-to-end solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. Bills Mafia, I know it's been only bad news of late, but unfortunately I've got some really, really bad news. The most serious news of the Bills season thus far, it's got nothing to do with football. From WFAA News in Dallas, quote, police confirm NFL linebacker Von Miller faces arrest in a domestic violence case in Dallas. A warrant has been issued for a charge of assaulting a pregnant person, police say. End of quote. Needless to say, these allegations are incredibly serious and even more disturbing. The report also states that the Dallas police are actively attempting to get Miller to turn himself in right now. So, Bills fan, you probably see this news and think to yourself, right when we thought it couldn't get any worse. Personally, I've never been one to rush in. I will wait and see how this develops. I want to see more information and more details, but from the looks of things, it looks really bad. How does this impact the Buffalo Bills?
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools. From dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January. 'Cause you know, mulch. We're cutting prices on your favorite brands this holiday season. Save on Milwaukee, Steel, and Lincoln Electric in-store or at northerntool.com.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and more. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
It's the holiday season, and Famous Footwear is stocked with all the styles your family wants from the brands you love at prices that fit everyone's list. Shop the comfiest Hey Dude shoes and coolest Crocs, or snag the perfect pair of Bear Paw boots and slippers. Plus, for a limited time, find the latest Nike styles for the whole family at savings of up to 30% off. Shop famous.com or bring the whole family into a Famous Footwear near you and spread some cheer this holiday season with the gift of famously great shoes. Valid on select styles.
Hey, I'm Jackie, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the chicken. It is golden brown, so juicy, so delicious. It's the perfect savory start to my day.
Hey, I'm Matt, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the freshly baked, flaky, buttery biscuit. When I take a bite, it's kind of like, crispy, soft, crispy. Crispy outside, soft interior, crispy chicken. There's really nothing like it.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
And it is that time. It's always that time on this show because it's the giving season. It is the giving season. We gave somebody an opportunity to beat me in our weekly NFL challenge in the last hour. And now Cricket rejoins me, and Cricket's got tickets to...
All right. He shoots, he scores.
Oh, he shoots, he scores.
Working on my hockey lingo.
You're
my
doing
jargon.
that. You're learning quick.
I'm trying.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Do you know what icing is?
Ice. Oh boy. Here comes J-Dub with the hard questions.
I'm just asking a question here.
I love icing. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, it's the best part of hockey, isn't it?
It's my
so
favorite
good.
part.
Yeah, it's so good.
It tastes so good.
Yeah.
It's tasty.
That's when the guy falls down on the ice and his mouth hits the ground, right?
And then somebody comes back with the
nice.
blueberry syrup.
I like that too.
Yeah.
It's also my favorite.
We just don't like the red icing that sometimes ends up on the ice.
Never.
No.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it does not sound good at all.
Okay.
All right, what do we got?
Well,
Cricket,
listen,
Miss Cricket with tickets.
If you love hockey, I'm making more executive decisions.
Okay.
If you love hockey, I've got some tickets for you. 4 to see the Tucson Roadrunners. 4 tickets for Saturday night's game with the San Jose Barracuda. Caller 1 right now, 520-848-1290. 848-1290. Caller number 1 going to see the Tucson Roadrunners and the San Jose Barracuda.
Making it easy. You're not even making the callers fight over these right here. You're just giving them out to the very first caller.
We're hoping it's a big hockey fan.
I'm going to make you talk to the person then this time. You're going to have to find out. Whoa, look at that, man. We could have gone to caller number 6 right now. But yeah, caller number 1. All right. Well, that's good. I like that. right there. Give me that one more time.
He shoots, he scores. That part? No.
Yeah.
That part?
Can you drag it out a little bit? You know how to.
He shoots, he scores. I don't know.
There you go.
And you have to like throw your hands up, right?
You might Crystal might take you down with that. You hang out with Crystal. Do you know Crystal very well? Or you guys
I've
hang out?
never met Crystal.
You've never never?
Never
Well, she's
met
never
Crystal.
here, but but she's gonna be here tomorrow because she's gonna be on the show. You've never met her though?
I've
Ever?
never met her.
Oh
no.
my gosh. Well, yeah. Well, she works there. She's one of the voices inside the arena.
Yeah, exactly.
At the Tucson Roadrunners games. So she knows a little bit about the sport. We'll have you. Maybe we'll do what do they call it with the kids? We'll have you partner up with her and she can teach you all you need to know.
Okay, fair enough. That's a plan.
Oh, Robert. Okay, so Robert called, but he got dropped. So Robert, call back. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. So we'll let you go, Cricket, because we know you're a busy person. You got things to do. So I'll talk to Robert and make sure that he is, in fact, like you said, because you're making executive decisions, that he is, in fact, loves hockey. Because that's what's mandatory about these tickets.
Honor system.
Thank you, Cricket.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, Cricket, giving out tickets. Robert, call back. We dropped you apparently, or your cell phone dropped, or something of that nature. So we want to make sure that we get you to the game on time. Don't forget, coming up at the bottom of the hour, we have got NFL football for you. Pretty good game tonight, although the line doesn't necessarily say it's a pretty good game. It's a little bit larger than I thought it would be. I mean, the Cowboys are almost 10-point favorites in this game against the Seattle Seahawks, who come in at 6-5. Against the Cowboys, who are 8-3, and Dallas has not lost a game at home so far this season. They are 5-0, and Dak Prescott this year has thrown 23 touchdown passes to just 6 interceptions. So the Cowboys and the Seahawks. All right, we got Robert back with us. Robert, how are you?
Great. How about yourself?
Good, Robert. Congratulations. You are the winner of a 4-pack of tickets to see the Tucson Roadrunners this weekend take on the San Jose Barracuda. Are you a hockey fan, Robert? Because Cricket said you have to love hockey in order to be able to get these tickets.
You know, I love sports. You know, I love Tucson teams. You know, I haven't been to the Roadrunners in a while, but, I love sports. What can I say?
Well, that's cool. That's good enough for me. As long as you love sports. Are you a hockey fan though? Or do you watch hockey much? Watch much hockey?
Not so much. I like Bay Area teams. So I know the Sharks are like the worst team in the league right now.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're just absolute garbage.
Oh wow. Okay.
But just listen to the radio. They never talk hockey, so it's hard to follow it.
Yeah, well, we try to talk it a little bit here. We talked a lot of it yesterday, probably more than we have all fall. So.
I bet you Robert knows what icing is.
Yeah, Robert, do you know what icing is?
That's like when someone is ahead on the ice before the puck, right? And then it's like a penalty, like offsides or something, right? In soccer or something?
More or less.
Yeah, I thought it was. Is that right, Gina? I thought it was like you can't pass it over two lines.
Two-line passing,
without,
icing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Yeah, you can't dump it, and then it's to keep.
It's the puck ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but again, I think we wanted Cricket to mention that hockey fans, if you're not a hockey fan, need not apply. What we really mean is that we want people to go to these games, pick the tickets up, and take 3 of their friends to go with them. And definitely Robert is someone who's going to do that. So you don't have to be the biggest hockey fan in the entire world. We just want to make sure that some fans get out there and make some noise and go see them play.
I'll definitely be screaming. Woo!
Do you have a jersey? Do you have a jersey that you wear? Do you have a hockey jersey at home?
I don't.
Oh,
I haven't been to the Roadrunner games since like the second season, 2017. So I'm excited to get out there.
All right. Well, there you go. It's time for you to come back. Time for you to come back, Robert. Who are you going to take with you?
My 3 kids. It's going to be perfect.
Oh, wow. How old are they?
16, 14, and 8.
All right. Outstanding. Boys and girls?
Yes, my oldest is my precious boy and my beautiful girls. I'm just really lucky, and these times are tough. So the only way I can get tickets is through you guys. So thank you so much.
Outstanding, Robert. Well, you enjoy that evening at the hockey game with your family. Stay on the line. J-Dub's going to get your information, and then just make sure you get those tickets before tomorrow, before we lock up the building at 5:00.
It's going to be perfect. I'll be there.
All right. Robert is taking his 3 kids to see the Tucson Roadrunners this weekend. We'll have to get a Roadrunner on tomorrow. I'll have to get with Adrian and see if we can hook up one of the players to come on the show and talk about the team. They're playing not bad to start the season, and I believe they are 10-6-1-1 is the record so far through the first 18 games. Both the Coyotes and the Roadrunners both have 10 wins. To begin the season, the Roadrunners are above 500. The Coyotes are above 500. Nothing wrong with that. The Coyotes have a game tonight at home at the Mullet. They will take on the Colorado Avalanche, and that is another team that is obviously perennially up there as a team to beat, and that game will start at about 7:00. And I'll tell you what, I'll send out a notification on that tonight, because that's my new thing now. I'm sending out notifications. All right. We've got Dustin Peace coming up for you. Dustin Peace is going to join us. We're going to talk some high school football, the Canyon del Oro Dorados. And I was going back and looking through this, and I know 1974. I kind of had gotten to 89. I was looking to see the last time 2 Tucson teams won state championships in the same year. I'll have to continue looking at this in the break. But 75, I've got that. In 1975, Amphi won Conference 3A, Flowing Wells won Conference 2A. And then the next year, how about this? CDO in 1976 won. And the Tucson School for the Deaf and the Blind won Conference C that year in 1976.
I played games there.
At the School of the Deaf and Blind?
Yeah, we played there when I was on the JV team at Greenfields. We played over there.
Yeah. So that we'll continue to look at this, but I'll give you more on it on that towards the end of the show. We'll take a break in here. Dustin Peace is next. It's DK on the Sports Tip. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Alvernon, south of Fort Lowell, 1st Avenue and Glen. Cortero at I-10, also Wilmot and Golf Links. Some busy traffic on westbound I-10 approaching and passing Ruthroff. And backups westbound Ajo at Mission and southbound La Cholla at Ajo. 50% chance of rain overnight and into the morning. Morning snow expected. Partly cloudy, 60 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. With a Chalupa Supreme, beefy 5-layer burrito, crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, and medium drink, Taco Bell's $5 Cravings Box is packed as ever. And $5 as ever. Get one at Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation, which vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
David Kelly has taken the reins.
Jetfish is doing everything we asked him to do.
Is DK on the Sports Tip.
Taliban set the 100 hurdles record and then broke it 2 more times.
Driving you home weekdays at 3 on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Where is your pain? In your knees, hip, your back? Well, don't let it sideline you any longer, and don't let them tell you surgery is your only option. Call QC Kinetics now for the future of pain relief. Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, restoring and repairing damaged joint tissue the natural way. This is with the science of using properties from your own body to bring you lasting relief with no drugs and no downtime. QC Kinetics is trusted by patients all over America. Get started now so you can live big in 2024. Talk about a great use of your FSA and HSA. Put them to work getting you the relief that you need so badly. Again, no drugs, no downtime, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics, a free consultation, 2 locations off of Academy and off of Orange Grove. 520-497-4955, 520-497-4955, QC Kinetics.
At Right Way, our team wouldn't last 5 minutes against the Wildcats. But when it comes to great service and your home comfort, well, that's a slam dunk. Whether it's heating and cooling, water heaters, or a block drain, give us a call today and let us win the game for you. Or visit www.rightwayac.com. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is proud to be an official sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. It looks like our long, hot summer is finally over, and cooler temperatures are great news for us and mostly good news for your car. But for some of you, the cooler overnight temperatures will be just enough to trigger your tire's low-pressure warning light. In most cases, you can solve the problem simply by adding the correct amount of air to your tires, and then get back to enjoying the cooler temperatures. As always, you can stop by any of our 14-area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with that low-pressure warning light, we fix those too. This month, mention this ad, and with the purchase of any new tire pressure sensor, we'll install it in your wheel and rebalance your tire absolutely free. You'll find even more specials to get you road trip ready at jackfurriers.com. So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just drive up. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
O'Reilly! You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
Android users, you can tune in to the home of the Wildcats by downloading our new app at the Google Play Store, so you can tune in wherever you are 24 hours a day. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Let's talk some high school football. Sabino brought home a state championship last weekend in Conference 3A, and Tucson has a chance to get a second state title in 4A. The Canyon Del Oro Dorados will be at ASU's Mountain America Stadium on Friday for a chance to win the Conference 4A title. We are pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Dorados, Dustin Peace. And Dustin, people always talk that around this game how hard it is to win a championship, how hard it is to even get to a championship game. You've been to one before. Did you think it would take this long to get back?
At the time I did it because it was back to back, but you learn a lot through the process, and as coaches, we're only lucky to come across some groups, and it shows that it takes some time to make that happen. So we got another group with another opportunity.
When you look at this group, and obviously this is a group that went through some trials last year with some kids that weren't unable to play, how do you think that molded, that situation last year molded what this team has become this year?
Oh, without a doubt. It spring forwarded everything. You only learn from failures that you have and mistakes that you have as a program and as a team and as young men, by all means, we all learned from that situation and we all grew from that situation. I think we're only tighter because of it. This group's tighter because of it. So so much adversity has gone on and with that, and they know that they've not, the goal has been, don't let anything else get in our way that's off the field. Let us control those things and make the most of our opportunities on Friday nights and enjoy our time together. So, yeah, what it's boiled down to now is I have a group that is veteran, that is responsible, that is, don't have to worry about kids showing up or going to school or their grades. Like all those boxes have been checked, and that experience, allowed for us to be tighter in those areas.
When you look at and kind of you mentioned, obviously, it was you guys went back-to-back back in 2009, got the title that year, beating Sabino pretty handily, and then the next year losing to Scottsdale Saguaro. How is it different now? How is coaching kids different now than it was the last time you were at this point?
I think for us, we're lucky in the fact that we still got a program and a group of kids that buy into, playing defense, playing really good defense and rushing the football. And I think back then, our whole goal back then was everybody who usually ran the state title, whether it be 5A, 6A, whoever it was usually the better running teams. So I think a lot of, the game has changed in that aspect, but we're fortunate to continue that model of football. And hopefully it's going to pay off one more time on the big stage. And the difference is a little bit is you don't have a lot of teams that run the football or defend the run very, very well anymore. So we've been kind of unique in the 4A in that sense where we're a running team and everybody else, wants to throw it or at least is balanced where we're just pretty straightforward about what we want to do.
You talk about running the football, and you got one of the best, most powerful runners I think we've ever seen here in Southern Arizona, and Caden Luke. How would you, for somebody that's never met Caden Luke, how would you describe him in totality from a kid to a football player?
Oh, I think you got two different humans, like one that has a helmet on and one that doesn't. And I think, a lot of us, I'm a little bit like that way as well myself. And I think a lot of people that play the game have a dark side in the sense of just your level of competitiveness and your, how aggressive you are and all those things. But you walk down the hall, everybody from from every kind of aspect of kid knows who Caden is, and they could reach out to him, and he is so, just great with representing our school and our program, but is friends to all kids on our campus. Great examples. We have, a special ed kid who does water for us, and those kids love Caden. They all know Caden. They come up to him. He loves them. Like in the hallway, they're yelling his name. He's yelling back, and he's that kind of kid where he's nice off the field, off the mat. But when you put him on there, he's got that switch and that ability to be competitive at the highest level.
What do you think his ceiling is? I mean, we've seen his style of runner be able to be, a guy that could get to the National Football League. I mean, we've seen those big bruising running backs like Mike Allstott. Do you think he's got the possibility to be that type of player at the next level?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we got to get him to college, so that's first things first, and we got to find somebody who likes him. Poor kid is living in an era where you don't have the Mike Allstott, kind of ideas or fullbacks or those kind of bodies. So he's got to find the right university that embraces that kind of football and can see the value in a young man like him. But without a doubt, who knows what he looks like in 5 years. If Caden Luke is, 6'2", he'll be one of the highest recruits that we've ever had in Tucson, Arizona. The problem is he's 4 inches short, and people put a lot of weight on that, unfortunately. But he's still a huge, big-time football player, and it's kind of been a little bit mind-boggling why he hasn't had some attention to have an opportunity at the second level. But what a better stage than Friday night to show out in front of everybody across the whole state. We're the only game playing at that time, so the stage is set, and I'm looking forward to what he's going to show everybody.
Dustin Peace, the head coach of the Canyon del Oro Dorados, is joining us. Dorados and Yuma Catholic. in the Conference 4A state championship game at 4 o'clock on Friday up at ASU. You know, the thing that I saw a little bit of the first half of the game last week. The thing that kind of stood out to me was just you have a number of kids on defense who make plays. I mean, I saw Chase Lau make a play. I mean, Joe Alba's out there making plays. I mean, we've been watching VJ King for 2 seasons now, Chance Cassell. I mean, you get a lot of contributions on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, without a doubt. We love playing defense, tough-nosed defense. And this very well could be the very best defense I've ever coached in my 22 years. We've had some really good ones. You know, they all buy into, you know, that's the great thing about defenses. You know, in offense, it's like who gets the ball, who scores a touchdown. There's a little bit of that glory, but on defensive aspect, you know, we're all in it to what the result is together. So it's just so cool to have a defense that can play so freely and fly around. But you're right. I mean, the list goes on even further. You know, Evan Greer, Grant Young, like it's just our guys buy into, and they're coachable kids. And that's what you get in a defense, because defense is responsibility football. And, you know, this guy's got to do this and that. And we got a group of kids that are very coachable and just want the best for the team. And when you get that buy-in, man, kids can fly around and do what you ask them to do, but they also do it well. You know, they fly around and they have fun doing it. And we're excited about the test that, you know, Yuma Catholic brings.
You mentioned Evan Greer. I mean, 30.5 tackles for loss in 13 games. I mean, what leads to his nose to be able to get to the football?
Yeah, you know, we had a funny Coach Scott McKee this morning said, "Hey, are you related to the Watt brothers? You probably have some Watt bloodline in you a little bit." But he's unbelievable. And even on Friday night, you know, I don't know if you were there for that part of the game, but he does that strip sack where we get the ball.
Late in the second quarter, yeah.
Yeah, and then he catches a screen pass late in the game to get us a first down, our only pass completed. So he's just making play after play. And unless, you know, somebody like you who knows the game and sees the game, you wouldn't realize a D lineman could impact the game the way he does, you know. We're able to sit back and play 8 guys in coverage because we know our D line, you know, led by Evan and Grant and Aaron Ramirez is our nose, get to the quarterback without having to be cute about it, without having to bring another guy. So 3-on-5's winning often. And when you can do that, you know, it really helps our secondary out as well.
We're joined by Dustin Peace, the head football coach at Canyon Del Oro High School. They'll take on Yuma Catholic. Yuma Catholic obviously has been a power on the 3A level. They've been able to continue that now with their move to 4A. What makes them a tough opponent?
Oh, when you watch them on film, Coach does a great job there. They're a little bit like us where you can see the discipline, you can see the focus, you can see, you know, and I finding out throughout the week, they got a lot of their O-linemen who are wrestlers that are just tough kids, you know, and when you have tough kids that are coached well, good things happen, and it shows out. You know what I mean? Like those little things that coaches see on film, where they're going to the whistle, they're playing hard, and they're very disciplined. So, you know, good things work out for teams like that. So they're going to put up a huge test for us, but we're excited about the opportunity to play against them, and you know, test our defense, test our run game, all those other kind of things.
I asked you a little bit earlier in the interview, just kind of, you know, what's different about coaching kids now, right now versus when you were in state championship games back in 9-10. How are you different, though, as a coach from when you were early in your career? Are you a different coach now, and how have you changed personally in the way that you deal with the kids and the way that you deal with the game?
Oh, without a doubt. You know, we say we have a big impact on kids and we change their lives and all those other things. Kids change our lives too. You know, I've learned so many things from all the groups that I've worked with. Some I've done better than others, you know, as far as a coach, but without a doubt, I'm more poised. My kids, you know, from the beginning, I've always worked really, really hard for my kids, but my kids know that I care about them first and foremost, and that sounds cliche, but I think, you know, with the experience that we had last year, you can see that nothing matters to me more than just our kids and the well-being of them. So when you get that buy-in, you know, when they see that from our coaching staff, then they can fully embrace the program and they can do whatever roles asked of them. And we still coach our kids, very, very hard. I think we're one of, it's tough to walk into our building with all the, the longtime staff and the tradition and all those things and not just fall into line of what's expected of you, and that's bred from each group down the line, shows it to the next group. And that's why it's been good to be at CDO and create that culture. But without a doubt, I'm different in the fact where my kids know now that, and I make it a point that I'll go to bat for them, and we just become tighter in that way, focusing on, our character and the things that we do. One of the things I was real, you say as a coach, you're proud. One of the things I was really proud of this year is we got the sportsmanship award for the 4A conference. So to say that we, are the best sports by the officials and possibly the state champs is a big time deal.
Outstanding. That's an excellent award to hang up on the mantle right there on the campus. Dustin, best of luck against Yuma Catholic. We look forward either way to celebrating you guys after this one.
I appreciate it, brother. Always.
Dustin Peace, the head football coach at the Canyon Del Oro High School for the Dorados. And don't forget, again, they'll be facing Yuma Catholic. It'll be a 4 o'clock kickoff on Friday at Mountain America Sun Devil Stadium up in Tempe at Arizona State University. The Dorados have won 3 state titles in program history, 1976, 1977, 2009. With a win, they will match Tucson High School. The Badgers have 4 state championships, for the most in Tucson proper. The Badgers won, of course, in 65, 66, 70, and 71. Canyon Del Oro currently tied with Marana and Sabino with 3 titles. The team that they will play tomorrow, Yuma Catholic, has also won 3 championships, all in this century, 2011, 2013, and 2014.
I got great news.
Yes.
I have the Wildcats Radio 1290 app on my phone, so every time you send an alert, I'm going to get it.
There you go. All right. Download that app. That's going to wrap up our program. Thanks to Cricket. Thanks to J-Dub. Thanks to Dustin Peace, Ernie Durazo, Brian Jeffries, and Kelvin Ifan. Most of all, thanks to you for listening. The National Football League is next. The Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys. Thursday Night Football. I'm David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. We will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
The following is a presentation of Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One.
Watson under center from his own Cleveland 20. Gets the snap.